A quick warning before we begin, folks. This video contains repeated use of the word meta. I'd also like to urge you to like, subscribe, and hey, even ping that bell as well if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it. Now, when crypto rallied at the beginning of August, Polygon, Ethereum, and Flow all got a bit of an extra boost courtesy of Meta. You know, the company which means us no harm, but just wants to know every single thing about us so that it can sell that information to others who will then use it to sell us everything we could possibly ever want. Now, this is because Meta announced that it would begin allowing Instagram to support NFTs in 100 countries using those aforementioned blockchains to do so. Flow will also be the blockchain used to mint the NFTs themselves, to be posted on the gram for likes, dopamine, and creating the illusion that your life is actually a lot more lovely and amazing than it really is. And as we learned just yesterday, that functionality is now being rolled out to Facebook too, meaning a user base of nearly 3 billion people is going to be able to post, like, and generally, share NFTs and other digital collectibles. Add this to the over 1 billion users that Instagram boasts, and that's north of 4 billion people potentially getting nifty. Now, there are even third-party wallet integrations with the likes of Rainbow, Coinbase Wallet, MetaMask, and Trust Wallet too. Which, of course, means that users will retain ownership of their digital assets, all the while making them publicly viewable on platforms with a global reach. And no fees to post these NFTs either. But the fact that Meta is the company behind all this poses two interesting questions. The first is, should we be getting excited about the digital asset ambitions of a mega corporation that can't really be said to share many of the values of cryptocurrency? That's last foray into crypto was the horrific Libra, then Diem stablecoin, which spooked the pants off of regulators around the world and brought scrutiny and FUD, which we are arguably still dealing with to this day. A company whose business practices, as exposed by whistleblower Frances Haugen last year, aren't exactly always particularly ethical.
I'm deeply concerned about the false choices that Facebook presents. They routinely try to reduce the discussion to things like, you can either have transparency or privacy. Which do you want to have?
So it's not an easy question to answer, especially if, like me, you're someone who wants to see NFTs reach their full potential and not just become lodged in everyone's mind as a way for teenagers to make millions trading pictures of monkeys. That, unfortunately, is very much the prevailing public perception of NFTs, and until that changes, it's unlikely that many people outside of crypto will be receptive to finding out what else they can do. The fact is that using NFTs on platforms they're already familiar with is probably one of the, only ways to get many people to interact with them to begin with. And once they're familiar with NFTs, they're much more likely to be open to exploring crypto too. This could potentially be a win-win for all concerned. Meta gets to harness NFTs and blockchain to further its digital asset ambitions and fuel future growth. The general public gets exposure to NFTs and the universe they exist in, while the cryptoverse itself attracts new users and greater understanding from a largely skeptical public. Now, the second question this integration raises relates to that idea of future growth for Meta. This is a company with falling revenues, a pretty terrible public image if we're honest, and one that was recently hit with a lawsuit by the US Federal Trade Commission for its alleged efforts to monopolize the metaverse. There's no doubt that NFTs and digital assets in general are a big part of Meta's plans for future world that's real digital and somewhere in between domination. So where do the recent announcements of Instagram and Facebook NFTs fit into this? Well, the answer would appear to be that they are mere precursors to much bigger announcements in the future. A Meta NFT marketplace, perhaps. The Meta wallet. Oh, please don't let them buy MetaMask. Meta Pay is actually something already being worked on. So, in other words, Meta is only just getting started with digital assets as its metaverse-oriented pivot gathers pace. Well, at least it seems to have given up on the stablecoin anyway.